Welcome, I'm the Kaiju no Kami here at Colorado Anime Fest 2019. I'm here with
Advent Nebula.
And we are interviewing
Chuck Huber.
For those who might not know what you're from and who you are, what are you?
I am from my mother's womb. And I am human. Supposedly.
An artificial human?
Maybe. I'm a voice actor. I act with my voice and my face and my arms sometimes. Sometimes my legs do the acting. Most of the time it's my voice. I'm known for my roles of Android 17, Garlic Jr., Emperor Pilaf, Kabuto, Master Shen, Mr. Shu, in the show Dragonball Z. And Hiei in Yu Yu Hakusho. And let's see, Professor Stein in Soul Leader. Kululu from Sergeant Frog. Austria from Italia. He's silly. Who else? I've done lots of, like 250 roles. I don't know. A bunch of roles.
How are you enjoying Colorado Anime Fest?
Colorado, you guys run this con at a top-notch level. It is really amazing. It is. I love you, Colorado Anime Fest.
And I know you've been to Colorado a lot. Is there anything that you got to do really fun today that you haven't got to do here yet?
No. I have been incredibly lazy. I watched, what did I watch? A movie.
A good movie or a bad movie?
He's just not that into you. With Jennifer Goodwin and young Bradley Cooper, and it was an adorable romantic comedy. Justin Long. It's got a bunch of Jennifer Aniston, Ben Affleck. I'd never seen this movie. It was sweet. And it portrayed relationships in a way that allowed you to see that not all of them turn out like movies, except the ones in this movie.
Now, for you, getting to reprise Android 17 after such a long break. Android 17.
No idea.
But for you, having such a long break between the character from when it was Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT to now Super, wasn't it a
Hold on,
challenge?
somebody texted me. Just 1 second. Since this could be my wife. I know you're trying to do a professional interview here, but I got things to do. Hold on. Oh, the children are hunting for Easter eggs. Straight to the hunt.
Aww.
You can't see that, you're way too far away. But trust me, there's children hunting Easter eggs. Stupid. No, I said adorable. Actually, I said Dora legal.
Autocorrect.
Adorable. Okay, she'll stop now. Android 17 was amazing. He came back out of nowhere. I did not know he was going to be like this huge thing again. I knew it was big when I woke up one morning and he was trending worldwide on Twitter. And I was like, holy cow. He's a real deal in this Dragon Ball Super thing. And then, of course, you know, there is that slight worry that they're going to be like, Chuck, I just don't really want you for this role. And I'm going to be like, oh, okay. I hate you. But they didn't. So they wanted to avoid the hate, I'm sure. Everybody does.
Exactly. And then, is it so nice to be able to get back into that role again, especially with 17 and then Pilaf as well?
Oh, yeah, Emperor Pilaf. He's probably the most fun. He's the funniest for me. Raleigh and I laughed the most in the booth with Pilaf. And of course I started recording him before I started recording Android 17, so that was me getting back into the swing of things. And then Kabuto came back. A bunch of characters of mine have come back. It's very strange. Android 13, I'm hoping for him to come back. Most people don't know I was Trucker Android. Look at my trucker head! Because I love being androids. I was also Invisible Guy. I don't know who he is. I remember him vaguely. One episode. DBZ. Obviously, he was invisible.
I still love the meme though. The world was saved by an Android, not an iPhone.
It's true.
So on the subject of your family, because you do acting, directing, script writing, and then being a family man, how do you balance it all out and how has it helped you grow?
I don't balance it. The family takes way more precedent. There's 7 children and a wife across 3 different households and 5 different schools. So there is no balance. It is completely tipped in the favor of the family. I happen to be, and also my wife Jessica, we are both lucky enough that we can survive that balance. She's an artist, she works from home. I'm an actor, I work from home. I also write screenplays, produce movies, edit movies, work in television and film. So occasionally something pops up and I have to be like, Dad's going to be busy for 12 days filming, and that kind of sucks because all our carpooling and stuff gets messed up. But I don't think I'm lucky that I don't really have to try to balance it. The family is so overwhelming that you can't balance it out.
Do you find that being a scriptwriter as well helps you craft your acting as well?
Yeah, for sure. Anytime you take on any other role in an organization, it definitely helps you see the previous role that you were, participating in. If you are working in a convention and you work under a department head and then you become a department head, you're like, oh, now I get it. Now I understand what they were asking of me. Same thing with writing or directing. You, as an actor, understand what the writer was intending more when you spend time writing, because you're trying to give them really good information in order to create. So, anytime you can get more information on a topic from a different angle, it just makes you smarter and better. If you're open to it, you can remain. Trust me, you can remain completely stupid for the rest of your life if you want, and that is a perfectly fine choice. I am not intelligence. I don't think everyone needs to try to be super smart. I think it's perfectly legit to play this game on Earth called life. Just having fun, for sure.
Now, as a teacher, I have a lot of students that are like, oh, I want to be a voice actor, or go into music when I get older.
Right.
But then they have that little, well, what if I fail at it? What type of advice could you give them?
Oh, you will definitely fail at it. That is probably the best advice you could take. You, personally, Bobby, who wants to be in the music industry, you're going to fail at it. That's my advice to you. Poor Bobby right now is like, why did he single me out? No, you have to fail. Failure is, if you can't face the failure of it, you are not ready for the job. If you can't face the constant, because it's constant failure. Life is constant failure. When we teach a baby to walk, even walking itself is constant failure. Walking is the process of standing still and then falling, and then catching yourself and falling. Little babies, they learn to walk, and you don't he tried to walk for 2 months, didn't get it, so we're like, screw it, just keep crawling. And they try to get up and we shove them down. You tried already, don't try again. You don't do that to a baby. I mean, you can. It's just you're opening yourself up to criminal prosecution probably, but we don't do that to babies. We wouldn't do that to humans who want to try something. And there isn't anything, pretty much. I mean, there's certain things that are out of reach of certain humans. I cannot be an Olympic sprinter. That's never going to happen for me. So I don't have to worry about that. But pretty much everybody can do anything they want.
One of my favorite lines from The Simpsons is always, trying is the first step toward failure.
It's true.
So I always say that to my students. I always say, trying is the first step toward failure. Just do it. They're always like, what?
That's the way to do it, though, because the real failure, actual failure, is when you think and want and dream and never do. That's the actual failure. That's when you're like, oh, I failed at that. I didn't give it any effort. And that's not to say that every little harebrained idea you have that comes into your head you should pursue with all your passion. No, I mean, if you try something and you're like, I don't like this. I tried audiobooks for a while because I had a bunch of friends who were making money doing audiobooks from home, and I was like, I'm going to do audiobooks, and I got to my first one and I was like, this is horrible, I hate it. And so I was like, no, I don't have to do that. I don't have to become the best at audiobooks, because if I don't like it, I don't have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's great advice for people out there, because you got to try something before you're going to know if you're going to like it or not.
Yep, for sure.
Now, what type of hobbies do you like to do outside of conventions and work?
Yeah, my favorite is I do ultra through hiking, large through hikes. The last one I did was the Wind River High Route, so like a 120-mile route. We did about 80 miles of it in 5 days, and it's at 11 to 14,000 feet. It was tough. You know, you go ultralight. I was carrying about 32 pounds, 31 pounds with my hiking partner. It's fun. Hiking to me is fun, especially in bear country, because as you lay down to go to sleep at night, you realize that something might eat you.
I'm a native of the state and grew up in the mountains. It's just like, oh look, there's a bear outside the door. How cute!
Yeah, you're not gonna get killed by a bear, most likely. You're way more likely to get killed driving in your car or going into your bathroom. Like the percentages for bathroom death and car death are way higher than bear death. But bathrooms and cars, like commuting, that's not very fun, you know. And laying on a mountain thinking, I can't sleep because I'm afraid of that noise, which I know is a squirrel, but my brain tries to make it into a bear, so I'm terrified. Like, that terror is a lot of fun. And the lack of sleep is kind of like a drug, and then you travel for lots of miles, 10, 20 miles a day in the high altitude. It's like, and then you finish and you're like, why did I do that to myself? And you're sore and you got blisters and you miss your family. And then you go back to regular life and like, toilets are so great. I didn't have to dig a hole in the ground. I could take a shower.
See, I always like to say from one of my favorite comedians, Jeff Dunham, my parents didn't take me camping because they loved me.
That's true. Well, that's actually not. I think we, like the human body, the human animal can take so much punishment. It can do so much work. And the society nowadays is kind of like crafting itself into this, like eventually we're just going to have goggles on and a tube, right? And we'll just like surf the internet and watch stuff kind of, but like the human body works really well when it's getting punished. And you should, if I'm not punishing myself physically a little bit every day, that to me is a failure. I'm always taking cold showers, doing cold therapy, exercising, especially when I don't want to. You know, like I really don't want to do my push-ups this morning. And so I put my push-ups before my coffee. In order to unlock coffee level in the morning, I gotta drop and give it 50. I gotta do 50 push-ups, and then like there are some mornings I'm like, screw you, coffee, I don't need you yet. I don't want to do that. And if I'm being honest, sometimes I tap out at like 40, 35. I'm like, that's enough, give me the coffee.
And for you, with being a family man, do your kids ever brag about the fact their dad's on TV every once in a while?
I don't know. I know their friends eventually find out about it because they'll occasionally come home and be like, Dad, can you give me, do you have like, one of my friends likes Dr. Stein, can you sign something? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, what's his name? And so I think, you know, they definitely straddle two worlds. Their mom's world is very different from my world, mine and Jessica's world. So they go back and forth between the two, and they manage it really well. But I imagine it's a little like jarring for them to deal with, because it's not fame. We're not really famous as voice actors. Kinda, a little bit. It's a niche type of fame. It's like National Public Radio fame. That's about the level we're at. But they get to tell their friends. Of course, Dragon Ball Z is big, so their friends think it's cool.
So has one of your kids reached 17 yet?
Yeah, 3 of them have.
Have you ever made jokes about it?
No. If they're being bad when they're young, I used to put the dog in the bed and say, I hope you wake up 2 beings still. It's terrible. They're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, that's right, you haven't watched it. Never mind. This is not funny to them at all.
Do you have any social media links people can find you at?
What's social media?
This weird thing that people have to do these days to stay
Oh,
relevant.
yes, social media. At Chuck_Huber on the Twitter. and something on the Instagram, although I don't really promote the Instagram, it's mostly my hiking stuff. I think it's charles.codyhuber on Instagram. And then I have a Facebook, which is, I don't know, just Google it. Someone said they'd asked their daughter, oh, you're old enough to get a Facebook account now, and their daughter went, Dad, Facebook's for old people. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, there you go.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks for having me out.
And until next time, bye.